Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jihan. This is Jitivoz. Grab your mat and let's flow together. Just sit comfortable with your legs crossed, sitting in your sits bones, rooted on the ground, feeling like someone is pulling towards the crown of your head. Take a deep inhale into the nose. Take a second sip of air. Hold it at the top and sigh it out. And then palms together in front of your chest. You interlace your fingers, push them down, up and overhead. And palms together overhead again. Take them down. Interlace them once they are in front of your chest and continue with the flow 3 times. Pull the hands, the arms up and overhead. Once they're overhead, palms together. And then palms together here, and you're leaning towards the right side. Your right palm could go towards the ground. Maybe the forearm if you're ready for that. But keep in mind that you want both sit bones on the ground. And come back to the center, switch inside. Same idea here. You could simply let the palm on the ground, maybe on a block, maybe is the full forearm. And we're stretching and opening the heart as we're stretching the torso. Cactus. Palms together again in front of the chest, and let's get started. Let's get moving. So we sit on our thighs, we set an intention, and then we prepare to go into a child's pose. Start activating your deep inhales, your ujjayi breathing, and rolling the body up and forward, melting the hips on the ground, opening chest and throat, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, child's pose. Let's make this drill from child's pose to king cobra, maybe baby cobra, bhujangasana if you're not ready for this hip chest opener. And then you take it back again, preferably with knees wide apart and big toes together. But you could also try it with your thighs together. Letting the hips on the ground, opening chest, avoid crunching on your shoulders, and then we meet in a tabletop position. You extend the right leg up and back as you lean towards the right side, lifting the right leg and the right arm, and then you crunch it in, elbow and knee together, come together, close, crunch it in and open up. And at the last one, and you grab that right foot, stretching and opening your heart even deeper. Then you come back down and you crunch it in that right knee into the nose. You tuck the left toes under and you reach that right leg up and back, opening the hip and bending the knee, making 3 big circles to the right, opening the right hip joint, and then you reverse direction, big circles towards the other side, lubricating your right hip joint, remembering that the hips are the largest joint in your body and they are the center of creation. Square the hips, knee to the nose, hold it there, and come back into your tabletop position. So we switch towards the other side, lifting the leg and the arm, and we crunch it in and we extend. We again crunch it in together in the center. We extend, elongate. We crunch it in. This is the last one now. As you open up, you grab that back foot with the same hand. You open the chest. You stretch the leg, the chest. We're still kind of warming up. You let that left arm down on the ground, keeping that left leg extended. You crunch it in to the nose, activating your core, and then you extend it back as you open the hip and bend the knee. Same idea here, big circles towards the right, big circles towards the left, sending the signal to every cell of your body that you're choosing this moment for yourself. You reverse direction if you haven't done it yet. And you want to continue extending your elbows, pushing your hands on the ground, activating your navel, square the hips, knee to the nose, hold it in tabletop position. And let's make few cat-cows. Inhale as you roll the shoulders up and back, lifting the tailbone, looking up. Exhale when you close and purge out, bringing the chin towards the chest, navel lean. Continue at your own pace. Maybe as you look up, you tuck your toes under, and as you exhale, look down. You lift the hips up and back, and we meet in a downward facing dog. You can keep your knees softly bent, especially if your hamstrings are tight, and then you come into a tabletop position, and then child's pose. This is the drill. Child's pose, tabletop, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog, downward facing dog, tabletop position, hips down to the heels, child's pose. Now you hold your child's pose for a few breaths. Maybe you swing from side to side. I'm simply listening to the music and following that. And then we meet again in our downward facing dog. And now let's make some spinal waves. We move into a plank pose. We open the chest, turbo dog, down dog, and we continue like these spinal waves. Then we walk towards the top of the mat and we completely, like a rock doll, stay for 1 second, and then the right palm goes down in between the feet, bending the right knee, looking up to the sky. You can stay in here, but you could also bind that left arm over that left leg and intensify the sensation. Left hand in between your feet, right arm up to the sky. Maybe you bind it over back, trying to grab that left quad, maybe not, feeling the intensity is stretching your arm strings, softening the knees to protect your lower lumbar. And then you go up and make few spinal waves from standing to swan dive in a forward fold. And then you slowly, one vertebra at a time, you go up. As you see, I go up with bending my knees, so we protect that way the lower lumbar. We interlace the fingers on our backs and we move the fist up and overhead, leaning towards the right side as you bend the right knee, and leaning towards the left side as you bend the left knee, looking preferably towards the sky as you switch side to side, pushing the hands on the ground. Step back with the right leg, step back with the left leg, plank position, Chaturanga Dandasana, lifting up, open chest, up dog, maybe cobra, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe pedal it out and you start reaching the right leg up and back as you open the hip and bend the knee, looking inside the right armpit, bringing that right knee to the right elbow, extended back. Right knee, cross it over to the left elbow, extended back, feeling the obliques. Knee to the right elbow again, extended back, looking inside the right armpit, and flip your dog, Kamatkarasana, wall thing, sit down and go up, activating your Kamatkarasana. Sit down and again go up. One more time, we sit, barely sit, touching the ground with the hips, go up again. Maybe you grab your leg to intensify this heart opener. And then we come back and we meet in a simple twist with that right foot towards the top of the ground. The left hand goes down. Then we switch down in a low lunge Skandasana. We preferably have that right foot, that heel on the ground, and then we hover here, we bow, and we meet back again in a one-legged dog. And you can make your regular vinyasa. I did my chin stand in this transition. And then we meet again in a downward facing dog. You know the drill, same thing, but on the other side. Left leg goes up and back, left knee to the left elbow, take it back, left knee, right elbow, cross it over, activating your obliques, take it back again. Left knee, left elbow, hold it and take it back up to meet in a wall thing, Kamatkarasana. And take it down, hips down, and then you go up, activating your wall thing. Take it down and go back up. Last one, you take it down, and at the third one, you stay here. Maybe you grab that leg to intensify it, and then come back to make the simple twist. Right hand down, left arm up, activating and hugging into the midline with your thighs. And Skandasana on the left side, ideally left heel on the ground, and ideally right leg is looking up to the sky, the knee, and then left leg goes up and back. And again, that chin stand, up dog, downward facing dog. Remember, you can make your own unique vinyasa, your own unique expression, your classic vinyasa. Step forward, feet wide apart, toes facing the edges of the mat, lower the hips, Skandasana. and hips up, Malasana, sorry, and then come back down, Malasana, Yogi squat, then hips up, looking down, maybe grabbing the heels, maybe hands on blocks, maybe hands on the ground. And again, we are making these forward folds and Malasana, switching from side to side, and now you lean towards one heel and the other, switching from one heel to the other, and then we'll be adding. Then you let the knee to the ground, and then you go back up. Maybe you help yourself with your hands on the ground, and then you lift the hips. Same idea, lean to the left heel, knee on the ground, lift the hips, and go back up. See, we started adding in each round, and then you go up and down, activating the Malasana. So Yogi squat and stand up, reaching arms up to the sky overhead. And then last one, you stay in here, you forward fold, maybe you hug yourself, maybe you grab your ankles, inhale, lengthen your spine, and start closing your feet together. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Let's make this drill from lengthening your spine, flat back. Maybe you keep a soft bend on your knees. Maybe your hands goes on your chins, and forward fold Uttanasana. And last one, lengthen your spine and right leg goes back, left leg goes back. Plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. At the Mukha Svanasana, as we move the hips up and back, right leg goes up and back. We open the hip and we bring that right foot in between our hands. High crescent lunge, arms overhead. Left knee then goes down on cactus, Anyanayasana. Untuck the left toes under. Hands on your thigh, then hands on your chest, and you twist out, left elbow outside of the right quad, tuck the left toes under and extend that knee. Take it down, that knee, and go back up, barely tapping the ground down, and you go back up. And one last round. And then palms together on the ground, left leg goes up and back. And again, Vinyasa, Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. I am making my chin stand transition, but you're more than welcome to do your own. Now left foot in between your palms, hands up overhead. High crescent lunge to Anyanayasana. And again, open your heart, hands on that left hip, and then hands in front of your chest. And then you twist out outside of that left quad, hands together on your chest, and you hover that knee, you extend it and you bend it, you touch the ground, and then you go back up, and then you bend it and you go back up, and then palms again in between, framing your foot. Take it back, Vinyasa. Chaturanga Dandasana, up dog, downward facing dog, and then we meet in a child's pose. Hold your child's pose, breathe in here, and now as you see, I'm now in a dancing lion simply because I am flowing and I couldn't resist in listening to the music, listening to every cell of my body, and simply kind of dancing here, just as I say, the dancing lions. I'm gonna let you hear on the description the playlist that I was using. Now then, the right foot in between your hands, and we meet in a warrior two. Reverse your warrior and extended side angle, left hand down, right arm up. Now you can just stay in here and start working on extending and bending that knee, but you could also make a half bind or full bind behind that right quad and make that bending as I did. And if you want to make these transition, these arm balance, you're welcome to do it. Otherwise, just make your own transition into your vinyasa, and we meet again in a downward facing dog, left foot in between your palms. We go up and meet in a warrior two, Virabhadrasana B, heels align, bending that left knee and reversing your warrior. Maybe if you want to intensify your warrior, you can grab that bind in your back and then extended side angle. Same idea here. Maybe it's a half bind, maybe it's a full bind, maybe you just keep that hand on the ground and you focus on bending and extending that knee, that front knee. You do it 3 times, and then as I did on the other side, I'm going into this arm balance and a step back into your downward facing dog. You walk forward towards the half of the mat, and then you make yourself here a hug or simply kind of like a rag doll on the ground, and then you step back again in a plank pose, and slowly you lower towards the ground, arms parallel by your sides like a letter T. You lift the left leg and you move it towards the right side, stretching the right shoulder here. Maybe you want to intensify and you bring that left hand to the back, and then come back down, lift the right leg, move it back, and maybe you bring that right hand that is in front of you on your back if again you want to intensify that stretch on that left shoulder, and then you go back again down on the ground. Let's make some spinal waves, hands away from your chest but parallel, and you go up, opening the chest, pull it back, exhale, take it down. Inhale as you pull up and back, exhale, take it down. Now last one, the right shoulder goes in between your hands, and then you go back up and you switch sides. Left shoulder in between your hands, switching sides in here, and again we come back to the center and we meet down, hands together close to the chest, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Hover your hands, extend the arms and squeeze back, extend them and squeeze, extend them at the front and squeeze, open up, elevate your legs, and we're in an airplane pose. And then you grab your ankles or the outer edges of the blades of your feet for your bow pose. You could stay still or you could play in your bow as I am doing here, leaning forwards and backwards to gain momentum. And you want to keep pulling hands and arms up, and maybe you also lean towards one side and the other. This is also an excellent option in variation. Now you want to push your heels into your butt, and then you bend the knees, swipe windshield from side to side to release any tension from your low back. Then we meet in a Sphinx pose. We bend in the right knee in a half frog. You push the right palm on the ground, extending that right arm, and you thread it through with that left arm through that hole on the right arm. And then we meet in a supine twist, belly twist, facing the right side of the room. And then we meet back in a Sphinx pose, hovering, bending that left knee, extend the left arm, thread it through, and move into that supine twist. On the other side, squeeze in here and look to the opposite side of that knee that is bent. And remember that in yoga torsions that detoxify. Now we're facing the ceiling. We look up, we bend the knees, and we're preparing for a back bend. Maybe it's a full wheel, maybe it's a half wheel. I'm going for a half wheel. You're pushing your palms on the ground. You lift the hips and you want to push and try to get close that chest to the chin. Maybe you interlace your hands on your back to intensify it. And if you're like me, you want to intensify it a bit more, you lift the heels and you hold it there. And then if you have a block, you can plant the block on your low back to help yourself for your legs up the wall pose. But if you want to go also into your shoulder stand, simply stack the hips over the shoulders, hands are on your upper back, and palms supporting your upper back. You're always looking up to the sky, never looking towards sides. Then you let the legs up and overhead in your plow pose, and you hold your plow pose for a few breaths. Maybe you soften the knees also, and then Deafman pose. If that's on your practice, you can simply bend the knees and close your ears. And this pose is a beautiful reminder that what's most important in life is that you listen to your intuition, to your internal guidance voice rather than the external noise. Now legs and arms parallel to each other, and you start moving ankles and wrists to one side and the other in these legs up the wall pose. And then you hug the knees into your chest, preparing for ending the practice. And then Now let's finish it strong. So ego wrap the arms, ego wrap the legs. You cross the right arm on top of the left and the left leg on top of the right. You crunch it in up, inhale, go down. Crunch it in as you exhale, inhale, down. You crunch it in as you exhale, you elongate down, inhale, down, exhale, up, and then we move faster, up, down, you're doing amazing, up, down, feel the fire, squeeze it up, elongate down, inhale, down, exhale, up, inhale, exhale, then you stay up, 3, 2, 1, and release, tap, tap, tap on your belly, and let's do the same on the other side. You got these, ego wrap the arms on the opposite, now the left goes on top of the right, and now the right goes on top of the left, you elongate hands overhead and feet down on the ground, exhale, crunch it in, inhale, down, exhale, up, inhale, elongate, exhale, crunch it in, inhale, open up, exhale, close, inhale, close, open, close, inhale, exhale, open, crunch it in, elongate, crunch it in, inhale, close, exhale, crunch it in, open, close, and stay there for 3, 2, 1, and release. Lovely. Tap, tap, tap on your belly. Release any tension and remind yourself how strong you are. Now, happy baby pose. Maybe you're grabbing your knees, maybe you're grabbing your big toes or the outer edges of the blades of your feet, and it could be a happy baby pose, maybe it's a still baby pose, a swinging one, a happy one, playful one that goes into straddle, bending and standing one knee at a time. Whatever you choose is a happy inner child. It's an inner child being seen, taken, cared for. And now you're ready to enter in your final pose, your final Shavasana. Remember, then you can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you wish, simply extending the arms, extending the legs, allow your palms face up towards the sky, sending the signal to the universe that you're more than open to receive all that is for you, checking in your body, your system, your mind to see what is it different from yourself at the beginning of the practice and yourself right now. Here's where you blueprint the practice on your system, and remember that you can stay for as long as you wish. Breathe. Focus on your breath, scan your body, and continue your Shavasana if you wish. But I'm going to start going up to close the practice with a mantra, chanting a mantra. And if you want to go up, do it carefully, going on one side, going on a fetal position. And then you go up, maybe half lotus, full lotus, or simply crossing your legs, close your eyes, take a deep inhale into the nose, take a second sip of air, hold it at the top, hold it for as long as you possibly can, and then sigh it out, release all the air into the nose as well. Sat Tomasat Gamaya Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya Miritriarmam Tam Gamaya. Thank you for being here. My name is Jihan. This is Jitivoz. Follow me, subscribe, like the video, and see you in another one. Namaste, and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. See you later, alligator.